That was one of the most extraordinary nights I have ever witnessed in boxing. Honestly, it was the atmosphere in here. It's such an incredible stadium. It was awesome. I mean, when Chris Eubank Sr. walked in, when Chris walked in or got out of the car, all of us, the three of us, Darren, Barry and I at ringside were just, oh my God. And that was the start of what was just a phenomenal night. I think every single person in this stadium loved it. I think everyone at home would have loved it. I think the boys loved it, even though Conor lost. He just wanted it so much. There's so much respect for Conor Benn after that performance. I thought Chris was really good. He had some rough patches in the fight. I thought he was a little slow at times, but at the end, he ground out a fantastic win. He deserved the win, but it was a little closer than the cards had. All the rounds were tight. Honestly, you just didn't want it to stop. 12 rounds, it was fantastic. And let's have a rematch definitively this year, maybe at Wembley.
I mean, silly questions. It didn't live up to the hype.
It more than lived up to the hype. Honestly, there was a lot of controversy. There was a lot of hate about this event. But ultimately, you got two guys who were just made for each other because of the family, because of the feud, because of their styles, because neither of them are the best fighters in the world. It wasn't the technical fight. I was talking to the guys who were saying, Batevia, Bivol, you didn't want it to end because they're the best, most incredible technical fighters in the world. These guys aren't at that level, but it was just ferocious. It was just a fight in a phone box, and you didn't want it to end, and you felt for Conor Benn because you knew he was going to lose, and he didn't deserve to in many ways. But Chris Eubank Jr. got it right. I thought he measured the rounds well, fought really hard at the end of rounds, catching the judge's eye. He caught the clock a couple of times, I noticed. He had the cut to deal with. He had a lot of pressure on him, Chris Eubank Jr., with the weight and the rehydrations and everything. And I think that he deserves his night. And Conor Benn deserves to be respected for an incredible, titanic effort. But really, the two just fused so beautifully. I think what I always think, you never know when the bell goes what's going to happen. You hope that something like that will happen. And when it does, you just sit back in amazement at how these guys can go through it. Gladiators to the end. They were fabulous. Both of them, the pair of them, they shared their souls in there, and they've got to do it again. This has just got the Eubank-Benn rivalry reignited, and we must have a second one. And you've got to say Conor Benn did amazingly to come up in the weight. I mean, he's not a middleweight, and Chris is big, but he did have the speed on him at times, Conor, and I think the tactics were good from Tony Sims. I thought they were sort of sharing rounds at the beginning, and then Eubank just sort of forged ahead. Conor came back at him, and then Chris just finished well. He looked really strong. Conor Benn was hurt a bit at the end, but yeah, they're going to go back to the drawing board. I think it'll be very different next time around. I think Conor would have had a few more months to get used to the weight, and Chris will get a little bit older. It's just going to be fascinating, and it's great that they found each other. And after all the hype, the eggs, we shouldn't have it, and the weight and all that, they put on a fight like that, a fight for the ages, a fight to remember. And a lot of the press were calling this, a circus, and they were naysaying about the fight. But they're two warriors. How can you not just take your hats off to two guys who put themselves through that in front of nearly 70,000 people and millions watching at home? They did that. They just didn't stop. And no, it was a brilliant fight and a wonderful night. I spoke to fans afterwards, and just everyone wants to see it again. So, it was money well spent for anyone that came, and I hope people enjoyed it at home. This is it. This is it. What is it? It's a cheeky Mackie D's on the way home. I think we've got to have that. This has got to be a wrap. What a week. What a long week. We need a rest, and we'll go again.